Professor Bernadette Bardot has worked as a dermatologist in a university hospital in New Zealand for 8 years after leaving her hometown of Nice, France. She smiles as she thinks, "If you don't make a decision, nothing will happen. I like this country, but I will return home one day for sure." Professor Bardot has developed a product that may prevent the spreading of skin cancer, i.e. melanoma. The product is to be injected subcutaneously around the area where melanoma is thought to have spread just before the tumor resection surgery is performed. The test article has worked extremely well in both rats and rabbits. Melanoma is very common in France compared with many other countries, so Dr. Bardot sees an opportunity to collaborate with her previous hospital in France. She calls her old mentor, Professor Jacques Lamarck, in Nice to see if he knows of any dermatologists in his hospital who might be interested in taking part in the melanoma trial she is planning. Professor Lamarck listens for a minute before replying. "Well, it's nice to hear from you after so many years. How is life down under?" Professor Bardot responds, "Good. Almost too good, thank you. I'm currently planning a melanoma clinical trial and want to find an investigator in France, preferably in Nice, to collaborate with. Do you have any potential candidates in mind?" There is a moment of silence before Professor Lamarck sighs and says, "Oh, Bernadette, you have been away from Europe for many years. You have probably not heard about the 2004 European Directive on Clinical Trials. Today, investigator-initiated trials conducted in Europe must follow the same strict regulations as industry-sponsored trials for applications, monitoring, GCP training, clinical trial insurance, adverse event reporting, etc. It has become tricky to conduct trials, especially for funding reasons. I just want you to know about the local requirements in France and in the European Union, but I can anyhow get you in contact with the local EC chair for a consultation." Professor Bardot has been absent from France for 8 years and has not heard about the new clinical trial regulations implemented in Europe. EU Directive 2001/20 in 2004. She has the opportunity to discuss the regulations and requirements with the EC chair at a hospital in Nice. After listening to the chair, Professor Bardot decides to proceed with the trial as planned. Since she is able to secure a grant for the trial from a private donor, she is confident that she will be able to conduct the trial in France and is currently working on the EC application, together with her new collaborator in Nice. Note, each jurisdiction has its own governing laws and guidelines that must be followed when applying for trial conduct to the regulatory authority and/or the local EC.